They announced a brand new playable character for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Let's go check out who it is. So after the exciting release of Garfield, of all things, we have an all-new character coming to Nick All-Star Brawl. I believe this character will be the final free character, and then any other new characters will cost a little bit of money as DLC. I have no idea who this new character is going to be. I have some expectations because I think some stuff was kind of leaked, and I asked my community their thoughts on who it's going to be, and a few people said something that seemed pretty realistic. So my expectation is that it is either Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Squidward from the Squidward spin-off show that's coming soon. Let's find out. I assume it'll just be on the front page of IGN's website, hopefully. Oh, yep, there it is. There we go. So yeah, this must have been leaked in some fashion, but it is Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I was thinking about the other day. I'm not a Ninja Turtles person, like, at all. Anything I know about Ninja Turtles, I pulled from watching, like, 80s content reviewers. So I know quite a bit about it, but I've never actually really watched it at all. Maybe I caught a couple episodes of the like 2012 CG version, but other than that, I don't really know. But I was excited by this idea when I was thinking about it the other night, because Nick All-Star Brawl doesn't really have any villain characters in it, does it? I mean, what, like Reptar? That's like a in-universe character in the Rugrats universe, so it's not really a villain. So right off the top of my head, I can't think of any villains that are in the game aside from, I don't know, maybe Garfield. But and now I'm sure many cartoon fans may be upset that I think TMNT now has the most representatives in this game, which, you know, is quite lame if it's a series you don't care about. But it's definitely a series that Nickelodeon wants to try to promote. And I think adding Shredder is way more interesting than, you know, just adding another turtle, because they could have just done that too. They could have every single one of the turtles and then half the roster would be characters that look exactly the same. I am seeing, though, look at that, a Double Dare battle stage. That's so based on like the old game show. That's really interesting. Instead of doing another Ninja Turtle stage, I didn't even for some reason I wasn't even thinking to expect a stage, but that sounds pretty awesome. That's kind of a really clever idea. It's interesting the lengths of nostalgia they're trying to go here, because I would have never expected a stage based on something like that. That's like along the lines of Smash Bros, including like Mr. Game & Watch. Like that just seems like such an out there thing. That is actually kind of awesome. Does Double Dare have a reboot or something? I don't really keep track of Nickelodeon anymore. Anyways, I'll stop talking. We can check out the trailer here, where there'll be plenty of references that I don't understand. Oh, okay, the quality got better. I mean, he looks pretty cool. I believe this is the old design of him. Anyways, I don't really know. I don't know what any of his newer designs look like, honestly. Oh no, he's Meta Knight. But I don't know what that dash attack seems similar to, but that seems really cool. Yeah, that's a great spam all the time attack. Yeah, so please feel free to go in the comments and let me know what you think about this reveal. Are you a fan of TMNT, or are you kind of indifferent? Or do you have the same opinion as me, where like you think this is a character that makes a lot of sense, but it's not necessarily one that you're attached to? And what do you think about the idea of having a Double Dare stage? Like, what other sorts of interesting stages would you like to see in this game? Whether it's from something weird or from a series that's already included. Please let me know all that in the comments. We can have some fun discussions.
Hello everyone, my name is Hanstein from the Nickelodeon.
What? Yeah, there's a stage. What a cool stage. I mean, even just this, is this show where the slime came from? Because like that makes a lot of sense to include that, to have some slime representation, because that's something that Nickelodeon, like, they act like that's their brand, but they don't really ever use it anymore aside from the Kids' Choice Awards. Can we just talk about how in general though it's so awesome for them to continue updating this game? And they have mentioned, like, they haven't explicitly said it, but they said something to hint towards the fact that they're going to add some voice acting, which I would expect is just going to be like archival audio, which is more than enough really, because we just need like the characters to say ow when they get punched and like generic things when they win. So it's pretty awesome that the game ended up being like a smash success. It definitely now has a small community. Like the first little week that it launched, it was huge, and then everybody kind of, it's not like anything was really wrong with the game, it just kind of like it had that immediate hype and then like went away. But now there's still a community dedicated to it, and there's cartoon people like me who, you know, are awful at the game and haven't necessarily played it even that much at all, but just appreciate the concept behind the whole thing, and the fact that they're trying to hype up these character reveals and stuff, like the fact that they tweeted about like, oh, IGN's going to announce a new character. Like, I love that they're taking that approach to it, rather than it just being like, oh, here's an update, like Shredder's in the game now. Like, they know to hype it up because they know that that's what works for crossovers. Anyways, I guess I should be paying more attention to the moveset. I love his particle effects and stuff. Something funny about this game is how like disproportionate all the characters are. So like, I don't know if we'll get to see it, but like, how big is Danny Phantom gonna be compared to Shredder? Because Danny Phantom is like ginormous compared to like Aang and stuff. It's really funny.
He floats briefly while charging the attack and then dives down.
I love attacks like that. He definitely has a lot of attacks that are about lunging like that. Like I love that.
Special attacks. Shredder's neutral special is Slash Burst.
That's just his neutral special. I mean, this game doesn't have side specials. That's definitely something that was tough to like realize while playing it.
You can slightly tweak the trajectory of the movement with the joystick.
Oh, so I mean, it's I don't know. It's sort of like Fox's side special, but there's not like a pause to it. It seems like you get constant momentum from it.
The first slash goes forward, the second back.
I kind of love the animation on that recovery.
His down special is Super Charge. He charges a powerful buff for a second, making him deal more damage with his strong attacks. Hit or miss.
More damage with the strong attacks, but the strong attacks are already extremely strong in this game.
Leaves you a bit vulnerable, so try to activate the buff while your opponent is
recovering. 18 damage.
Alongside Shredder, we present you a new stage, Slime Time.
Yeah, this is awesome. I was gonna say that earlier. From my memory, like when I was really young, I think Nickelodeon had a game show or like a thing in between commercials or a block or something called Slime Time. I remember watching that a lot as a kid, but that was kind of my only exposure to Nickelodeon game shows until they brought in the Brain Game. Is that what that was called? I don't feel like having to look it up right now. I got to grow up on Slime Time. What if anybody has seen that? But that's what this stage is called, so that's kind of awesome that I guess Slime Time came from this series, or this game show series. I love this idea, though, that this opens the door for them to do stages based on more interesting stuff. Like, if they do add another SpongeBob character or another Loud House character or something, instead of giving us another stage from those series, they could throw in even a stage from just a completely different series, or a stage from a more interesting, obscure thing that they couldn't pull a character from. But even doing this game show stuff is like, I think it's much more clever and matches the vibe much more than doing like a, you know, an iCarly stage or something. Because I know when the game was big, people were asking like, oh, will it be live action characters? And it's like, that just doesn't fit, you know? They want to focus on the animation side of things, or at least the like 80s 90s nostalgia side of things, and it works really well to keep it that way. I like that they always use Patrick as the punching bag in these, like he's supposedly the worst character in the game, so I guess it I don't know, there's a joy in seeing him get pummeled. When the slime like slows you down. It was probably mentioned, but I was too busy talking. That's a cool pose too.
That's Shredder. Thank you so much for tuning in to this character showcase. And please look forward to more like these in the future.
Okay, yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Not necessarily something super hype worthy for me personally. Maybe Ninja Turtle fans are losing their mind. I think what's more hype here is the idea of doing a stage based on one of the game shows. I think that is so cool. And I do think in general it's cool for them to add a villain character from TMNT rather than adding another turtle or doing anything that people would say is bloating the roster with things that don't make sense. I think adding Shredder makes a lot of sense because he's very iconic and very cool, and there's not really any other character like him in the roster right now who's, you know, quite literally very sharp, humanoid, and a villain. I just, from my memory, I really don't think there's villains in the game, so it's cool to have one. If we want to talk villains, though, actually, I think it'd be really cool. Maybe, you know, we don't want more SpongeBob representation in the game, but I think it'd be really cool if they added Plankton. Because in the game, Lights, Camera, Pants, when you play as Plankton, he has like this robot suit to make him normal size. And I think if they took that sort of approach to add Plankton, they could do some really clever stuff with the moveset. I think that I would want that over whatever potential SpongeBob characters they could be adding. But I mean, I would be happy with more SpongeBob though, because SpongeBob's just so classic. But I know the big request from the community is Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot, which, I mean, it just writes itself. She's literally a robot superhero, and like, you know, a lot of people also have a big emotional connection to her as a character. She totally deserves to be in, because that's kind of an era of cartoon that's unrepresented here too, because isn't she from, like, she's definitely from before Danny Phantom. It's got to be like 2004 or 2003 or something. But that's definitely a show Nickelodeon doesn't like reference anymore. I think Jenny appeared in like a crossover app. I think it was like a crappy fighting game app that I actually played for a little while. And by a little while, I mean like once. Actually, would you guys like to see me play this fighting game app? I feel like that would make a good video. Let me know. But I think she was in that, and then I don't know when the most recent time they ever referenced her was. I feel like that's one of those things, like stuff from that era, stuff that they aired a lot on Nicktoons Network and stuff. Like everybody says El Tigre all the time. Like, I don't think Nickelodeon has acknowledged El Tigre like since they canceled it, you know? And it's tragic that they treat their shows this way, but they have so much nostalgia to pull from, and the nostalgia that people want to see, honestly, at least for my generation, the nostalgia people want to see is the more obscure stuff. You know, we want to see more Zim. We want to see more Teenage Robot. I would even kind of consider Danny Phantom a little more obscure just because of how much it stands out from the rest of Nickelodeon's catalog. So I think, honestly, in terms of characters from series that aren't represented, I think Jenny is my number one too, because she would just work so well. It would either be like I want her or something, you know, equally interesting or much more obscure. Like if they put the Mighty Bee Girl in it. I don't remember her name, which is rude of me. If they went deep and like added a really, really out there character like that, I think that would be so cool. Or even, you know, like they're doing this game show stage, pull from like a Bumper or something, you know, make like the little Nickelodeon stick figure guy a character or something. Like, it'd be hard to build a moveset, I guess, but that'd just be so clever. I really want to see a very clever, like, Mr. Game & Watch or Piranha Plant style thing get into this game, because I just think it'd be really funny and really charming if it's something that people actually do remember. And if I wanted more representation from series that are in the game, like, I definitely would want more Zim characters. I've definitely said before that I want Dib, just because, you know, having Dib and Zim fight each other would be awesome, and having another Zim stage would be pretty cool too, to have, like, I don't know, in front of Dib's house or the Armada spaceships or something like that. Well, I guess that's kind of what the stage is already anyway, but I don't know, but something a little more than just like the game's version of Battlefield. But I was also thinking like Gaz would work really well, because she's very violent and she's like video game focused, so they could do some interesting stuff with her moveset there. I know Garfield already has a lot of like pizza oriented moves, but I mean, we all know that Gaz loves pizza more than Garfield, so like, come on, I think she would work pretty well. That could be pretty funny. If there's a series that's already in the game that I want to see expanded, it would be Zim, because I just love Zim so much. And SpongeBob, like I was mentioning too. Also, something that's left out that I was seeing comments about on my post from the other night, like Rocko's Modern Life needs to be in here. It's so weird that it isn't, because they made the reboot movie like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, they just Nickelodeon put out that movie and Enter the Floor Pits. Like, they put those 2 specials out on Netflix, and then they like acted like they don't exist. Maybe it has something to do with how Netflix like owns distribution rights to them forever, probably, and now Nickelodeon has Paramount Plus, and they're like mad that they can't have those on Paramount Plus or something like that. But it's just weird that they completely disregard those specials like since day one. I feel like since those specials came out, Nickelodeon probably tweeted like once, like, oh, go watch Static Cling on Netflix, and then that's it. They never did a commercial on the channel or anything like that, which is just weird. But I think that it is definitely weird that Rocko isn't included, because that's another iconic thing, like right alongside Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats, that should totally be in. So what do you guys think about this announcement, and what other fighters would you like to see join the battle? And even more interestingly, like what kind of stages would you like to see, whether it's from something that's not represented in the game at all, that's totally weird, or, you know, something more obscure from a series that's in the game, or just like another type of setting for SpongeBob, or anything. Let me know what kind of stages you would want. I feel like we always disregard the stage discussion in things like this. Even with Smash Bros, we're always like, oh my god, they're gonna add Sora, and then like not even for a second anybody's like, what stage is Sora gonna have? Like, no, like nobody ever cares about the stage. I feel like it's something that takes a lot of effort. So definitely let me know what you would want. But I think that's all it for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please hit the like button so more viewers like you can find this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel with notifications on to see my future content, and follow me on other sites like TikTok and Twitter for special exclusives. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned for more.